Hey there everybody, welcome back. I'm Chris, and today we're going to build a PC. Hey there everybody, thanks for hanging past the cut, and we are going to build a PC today, this time with the Intel 9900K. Now you might remember ages ago in TechTuber land, like 6 weeks ago, we built the RGB Overkill machine using a Ryzen 2700X processor, and we had the 9900K laying around, so we figured, you know what, let's see what we can do with that. So along with that, we picked up the Lian Li PC-011 Dynamic case with these beautiful sides and that open layout. We have not one, but two RTX 2080 Ti Founders Editions. We have 32 gigabytes of G.Skill Trident Z Royal RAM and a ton of storage. This is our first sponsored piece of gear for this build from Seagate. This is the BarraCuda Pro drive, and it is a whopping 14 terabytes. And we reached out to them about this because if you're going to be doing any kind of video work and you're going to be having some games on your machine as well, you need a massive drive, and I can't picture right now how I'd ever fill this thing up. So that is a piece of overkill. We also have two NVMe drives, one from Silicon Power. This is the 1 terabyte drive from them. We also have a Samsung 970 Pro in the machine currently recording this, and a Western Digital 1 terabyte SATA drive as well, SATA SSD. Now this is going to be powered by our second piece of sponsored gear. This is the EVGA 1000 T2 fully modular power supply. It's going to get us consistent power to push that 5 gigahertz overclock we're going to go for. And this is all going to plug into the ASRock Z390 Tai Chi Ultimate motherboard, and I just love the look of this thing, so that's going to look great inside that case. There's a few other goodies that are currently not pictured on the table. We have a handful of Corsair light loop fans. We have 3 of them right there. They're going to look gorgeous in there. We have a fan controller, some braided cables, and the NZXT X72 360mm CPU cooler, so that's going to keep us nice and chilly in there. But without spending too much time on all this, let's just get right into the build, because if you're like me, you just want to see how this thing's going to look anyways. Let's get into it. Well guys, it's been a couple weeks, as I'm sure you can tell from my appearance, and the fact that the machine is humming along nicely behind me, and I just could not be happier with how this turned out. The PC-011 Dynamic case is just so nice. I love these two glass side panels, and I love the fact that we don't have the power supply down below. But what really surprised me is there's actually been a thermal improvement versus the 8700K in the Fractal Define R6 case. So we're not talking about load temps. Those even out pretty well. But in the idle temps, the 9900K is running about 4 degrees Celsius cooler than the 8700K did, despite running on the same Kraken X72 cooler from NZXT. And I think it has to do with the airflow that's in the case and just the overall level of heat that's in the case. So I have 3 fans on the bottom blowing up. I have the fans facing you blowing in, and they are all being sucked out through the radiator on the top. And it's really been very effective. I'm also seeing GPU temp improvements because we have that nice cool air blowing right into them. So this has just been an awesome case. And when it comes to performance, we knew from the beginning this thing was going to rock pretty much whatever we threw at it. This is one of the most powerful systems you can build today in terms of a gaming machine with two 2080 Ti's and that 9900K. So pretty much anything I throw at this thing, I can crank the settings up to ultra, run it at 4K, and get 60 FPS. Now, some of the most modern games, if you turn everything up, even these 2 cards are going to drop down to 50, 55. So those are pretty easy to push up to 60 if you're willing to adjust a couple of settings, but this is what happens when you run at 4K, and these really do an awesome job. The majority of games, they'll run way past 60 FPS, so I'm pretty darn happy with that. And while I'm gaming at 4K on this 43-inch screen that's right off camera here, underneath the camera I have a whole second monitor that's running. It's a 32-inch 1440p that I use to monitor streams or browse the internet or watch Netflix, whatever it might be. So it's running 2 things at once all the time and doing an awesome job with that. Now, this build wasn't without its quirks. The cable extensions that I had in there turned out to be a pretty substantial problem because the cable management space in the back is really not too plentiful. It's good if you're using your normal cables, but the fact that the EVGA power supply we went with has naturally thicker bundled cables with it, and then adding those in there, we really did kind of run out of space at a couple points, so I had to finagle it and really get creative with those cable ties and really just do everything I could to try to minimize that space, and I still had to press it on. And my biggest criticism of this case itself is to actually get access to the sides or the internal chamber and the other side is such a pain. You have to first take off this top piece, which is not the easiest thing in the world to take off or get back on, and then you can take those off. So to actually get full access to this is a 3-step process every time. And it's not a light case either, so there's a lot of manual labor that goes into actually getting in there. So once it's set, it's best just to leave it set, and that's what I've been doing. But overall, I am just super happy with this. It looks great. I think I'm going to add 3 more light loop fans on the bottom to get a nice cycle going on, and there's a couple other things that I want to do over time, like get some more cable combs that are in there. We ran out halfway through, but for right now, I am very impressed with how this thing came out. It's going to be great for our gaming, and it's going to be great for all of our benchmarking and everything going forward. So with that, guys, I just want to thank you for watching. If you liked the video today, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications for whenever we upload a new video. And over at MMORPG.com, we are doing about 5 tech reviews every single week. So if this is your thing, and I'm sure it is if you made it this far in the video, head over to MMORPG.com, check it out. You're going to find a lot to love. With that, guys, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.